now in the health world, and that is the fungal world, the Wood Wide Web. And you guys know about the Wood Wide Web? It is the internet before the internet, right? It's the interconnection of all of life on this planet. Well, fungus make up about 25% of the biomass of our planet. They are the immune system of our planet. Part of the reason I believe that humanity is tapping deeper into working with medicinal mushrooms and understanding and discovering some of the different relationships that funguses have within the larger ecosystem is because we're tuning into this larger consciousness of planet Gaia. And we are there now in this evolutionary crux, trying to come to a bigger understanding of who we actually are and what our purpose is as we, grow on this planet. We are at a dire state these days of potentially, putting our planet into a major loss, into another ice age or another heat wave, or just completely destroying this planet. But I will tell you, in the stratosphere, a mile underground, are fungal species that can, spores that can come down and germinate this planet again, or grow back up and reheal this planet. They are the immune system of our planet. They are very similar to us in the way that they show up. They breathe carbon dioxide. There's a whole lot around that. But one of the coolest things about what fungus could teach us is how they build relationships and how they, also even how they mate. Did you know that funguses have a really kinky kind of kundalini mating ritual where they join both male and male, female and female, male and female and male, and they create these really polyamorous, multi-orgasmic kundalini spirals that look like DNA. And as they do this, they create these big mats. And as they build these mats, they mate for life. So there's one, they mate for life. They also share genetics and they share food sources. As they grow, they then also tap in and build relationships with every other organism in their ecosystem. There's something called mycorrhizal communication. And this is really that all plants have a relationship with a fungi that helps them get their food from outside of themselves. Most we think that plants can get their food from their root systems. This really isn't all that accurate. It's mostly the tendrils wrapped around their roots of the funguses or fungi that go out and use complex enzymes to break down rocks and pull minerals in and actually create this ecosystem of thriving. They also, within these same mycorrhizal connections, help trees to nurse their young, right? Help them to send nutrition through the carbon bank to their young, as well as when there's a catastrophe in an ecosystem or there's a drought or some kind of famine of resource, they rechannel that carbon bank to help the species that are suffering the most to create more complex stability through biodiversity. So there's a lot we can learn from the world, from the Wood Wide Web, about building biodiversity, building stability through creating the access for multiple different types of genetics to come into harmony through creating a carbon bank. And I feel like humanity is at the precipice of actually being able to understand this concept, which hopefully will help transcend into our larger consciousness of how we can show up as resilient beings here to support our planet. Okay, so there's lots more about the Wood Wide Web. I could take probably an entire weekend talking about mushrooms, even just probably a whole hour just telling you mushroom jokes if you really want it, because I am a really good decomposer. That's my musical name, right? And I listen to Death Cab for Cuties, and I am a spore loser, and I don't give a shiitake. So let's talk about the next thing.